Welcome back to what I'm calling part two of introducing you to what it looks like to bring spirituality into your life. Because bringing spirituality into business is about bringing spirituality into the business of our life and everything we do, not just our big, huge contribution in the world, because our work that we do, where we spend the bulk of our day, is our contribution. It is the way that we're giving back to the world. And when we see that, when we have that greater meaning and purpose in all that we do, when we see a bigger picture view, I call that a gift. It's really a transcendent awareness. And I love when we know something for certain inside us because it was our free download or our inner guides directing us with certainty and knowing and awareness to things we were meant to know on our journey. But how beautiful is it when someone else validates it with some proof of their research, their data going further? We're seeing it now with psychedelics, but I also believe that psychedelics are actually bringing humanity back to this full awareness of their spiritual nature, of the spiritual intelligence accessible, innate in each and every one of us. We have the potential to turn up the volume to certain things in our life or turn down the volume to certain things in our life. It's true. We do it day in and day out. We turn down the volume to those things we don't like, right? Those irritants, those quirks that just drive us nuts, right? Instead of feeling the angst or the resistance to things, we just numb them, turn them down. We turn the volume off or numb our ability to have an awareness to them of any kind. So I want to tell you and share with you that this isn't just my opinion. This is validity. This is fact. This is truth behind everything. The whole reason we are where we are in the world right now, my bigger picture view, my transcendent awareness, my free downloads to showing me what's really going on, is that we as a people, we as humanity, as a society, have become so disconnected to all that we are. We've turned down the volume so much that we've turned off our recall, our recollection, our remembering that we are spiritual beings here, expressing consciousness through this human form with one another for an amazing experience. Like, this is the ride of a lifetime if we really tune into it with power, with intention. So I want to share with you someone who came across my path just recently. And it's with great love, compassion, and appreciation that I get to validate what I've known through my own spiritual growth and journey, not through my education, not through research or study or scientific data, but my own trusting and knowing and living through my own experiences of creating this relationship with my spiritual intelligence. You have the same abilities as I do. Not one of us is without the innate spiritual nature and recall and remembrance of all that we are. But allow me to introduce you to this beautiful woman, this beautiful soul who's done the background work to validate and do the scientific research in neuroscience to show us some facts about spirituality. I hope you enjoy listening in. I caught this interview on YouTube on the Storybox, and it was an interview where Dr. Lisa Miller, PhD, was interviewed about the neuroscience of spirituality. Enjoy.
So I guess my question to you would be, having said all this, why is having spirituality as part of us as humans, or even just a spiritual practice for that matter, why is all that important?
So glad you raised that. Okay, here we could go on and on for days, but I'll hit the big four. Okay, the first is health and wellness. We look at data that is just absolutely conclusive. A young adult who's a standard deviation above as compared to below the mean, so very likely as compared to unlikely to say my personal spirituality is deeply important to me, is 80% less likely to be addicted to alcohol or drugs.
Wow.
It's a really rough road in life to fight addiction. And, you know, all of our friends who've been through AA and NA know that a lot of recovery has to do with reigniting our spiritual awareness. So can't we get ahead of that and help young people by building the core, build the ark before it rains, build what is our natural endowment, be the 2/3 of environmental embrace onto our natural spiritual core. So 80% less likely to be addicted. You know, the epidemic of our time, and this is very serious, is suicide, right? A young adult, a high schooler in the US is more likely to die by suicide than a car crash. Number one killer of youth, okay? We are 62% less likely to take our own life and 82% less likely to take our life if spirituality is shared. So if I simply have a personal spirituality, I'm 2/3 less likely to take my life. If I share that and we talk about it and it becomes part of our lives together, the we and the us of our friendship or our workplace or our classroom or our boardroom, wherever we come together, if we, you know, can see and know each other in this deeper way, that we are brothers and sisters, that, you know, life is not a blank slate. There's certain moral codes written into life. Like you just can't harm people or it'll boomerang back. Karma is real, right? We live in a moral, spiritual universe. And when we see that, we are much happier, more connected, and less addicted, less depressed, and less at risk even for suicide. Okay, health and wellness, reason number one. Number two, the upside. So the character strengths and virtues that give us might, like grit and determination and optimism. All of those actually go hand in hand more deeply with spiritual awareness. When we look through science, we see that if I understand life to be in relationship to God or some ultimate presence of, you know, whether I say Jesus or the universe, or that life itself is simply sacred, right? Then, of course, I'm less likely to quit the minute things go wrong, right? And if instead of looking at myself, you know, think of the hard work of coming of age. Who are you? I mean, we might even invite people to think, who are you?
Yeah.
Well, there's two answers to the question. Who are you? I am, you know, particularly clever and good in the world. I have my own podcast, right? Or I am a spiritual being who is endowed with these gifts through which I form my own podcast, right? Now, number one is true. That's right. But number two is much deeper. Yeah. And more true. And it actually leads to a life of far more contribution when we understand ourselves as giving in an ultimate way, a purpose, a calling through our gifts, right? And when things go wrong, you know, okay, rough day, it's not the end of the world. It's noise on the trajectory of a purposeful life with calling, right? So that's one is health and wellness. Two is the upside. We're actually more effective and we have bigger lives with more meaning and purpose, right? And then the third is that, you know, life, when we use our innate transcendent capacity, this 1/3 innate gift hardwired into us, becomes 10,000-fold more fascinating. It becomes a much bigger, more inspired life. And so whereas we could say, okay, spirituality makes you healthier, it makes you happier, it makes you more successful, what really matters is that life literally expands so that it is robust and different. And that's where we can talk, I think, in a really rich and important way.
Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time here. Thank you for even exploring the idea of what it looks like to bring spirituality into business, into your life, into all that you do. And when you're ready to empower your people, when you're ready to empower your organization to an entirely new level, when you're ready to heal the dysfunction from the inside out, naturally, organically, and allow your people to embrace their gifts, their talents, and their contribution at a whole new level, reach out to me. I would love to take you through my book club that does just this. It's a powerful engagement tool for your entire organization to connect and engage at an entirely new level, where everyone brings their gifts and talents forward, where spiritual intelligence is combined with mental intelligence, emotional intelligence, and our physical body intelligence to really live fully into all that we are, into our full beingness, and to really truly bring all of us to the party. I hope you'll join me. I hope I see you on the other side. I hope I'm celebrating your success along the way and cheering for you every step of the way, because we are here. We are here in this life. What is life? Let me tell you how I explain life. Life, L-I-F-E, love in full expression. When each one of us is truly engaged in this full awareness of all that we are, we can't help but love ourselves and others and life itself. So life, when you fully get it, it's love in full expression.